The Honor 400 Pro. Honor are really onto something when it comes to their 400 series, and the Pro version might just be the best one. Or is it? Well, let's talk my experience with it. First was the Honor 400 Lite, and now there's the 400 and the 400 Pro. This comes in at around £699. And compared to the 400, which actually starts at £399, that £300 difference, is it really justified here? Well, let's break it down and really talk about it. Specs and performance wise, the Honor 400 Pro is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It is working with 12 gigabytes of RAM and either a storage configuration of 256, 512 gigabytes. The display is 6.7 inches, slightly over 1080p, 1280p display with 120 hertz and great PWM dimming, which is what we love. And it is an AMOLED OLED display. Does state a peak brightness of 5000 nits, but always take that with a grain of salt. And for this region, the battery is a massive 3500 milliamps. This is one thing that Honor doesn't really miss out. It doesn't come with a charger, but it does support up to 100-watt wired charging. And cameras wise, you are working with a triple rear camera at the back, 200 megapixels for the main wide ones and 50 megapixels for the telephoto zoom, which is at 3x optical, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And you've got the selfie modules, which does have the dual depth, which is 50 megapixels for the selfie and a 2 megapixel depth. So overall, when it comes to what you're getting here for the specs, this is pretty stacked for a Pro model, and it should be for the price. So yeah, this is what we have in terms of the specs and the performance for the Honor 400 Pro. Now for the design and the build quality, I have to say Honor have done a really good job here. This does feel solid. It does take the approach of being curved for the front and the back, and it is actually good for the curvature at the back, but I don't know. I think I look at this and I'm more attracted to the standard 400. I'm going to reference eTech Care. He did a great showcase video on it, so definitely go check out on his channel. And man, I would say the 400 looks much more classy. It does have a curved, rounded edge display, but it's not as even, especially in the corners, that I would like personally. It does look good. It does feel good. It feels really well put together, and I really like it in that sense. But yeah, I don't know, maybe in this case, the 400 is more classy, but overall, this is a nice device. I have no complaints when it comes to it. And for the display experience, it is a really nice display. It's a 1280p display, slightly higher than 1080p aspect ratio. It's like 19.5 by 9, which is standard. And it's 120 hertz. It's an AMOLED display, so it's nice and vibrant and great. Now, whenever they do tout these maximum brightness of 5000 nits, you have to remember it's like in a small 1% window, viewing HDR content in a specific way. So the overall brightness is still very good in that sense. But yeah, the display experience is great for your favorite viewing shows and, you know, TV shows and whatnot, and just scrolling and using it. It's just really responsive, and I pretty much have no complaints about it. Again, in terms of the nature of the display visually, it's good. It's good. It's really good. Performance-wise, we have the tried and tested Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and this one is packing a lot of heat, and you can't go wrong when it comes to it. So this is something that is tried and tested. This chipset we've known for before, and I think this is a good way to get good balance on price and performance. My model here is 12 gigabytes of RAM. So RAM wise, you can obviously add more of the RAM turbo to it. So it is a good experience. It's fast, it's fluid. At this point, what can you say more when it comes to these smartphones? They are packing all the performance that you need. It's really, really easy to talk about it when it comes to this point. So yeah, no complaints when it comes to the performance. Camera wise, thanks to the power of AI, Honor are really doing some great things here. Of course, you do have a main 200 megapixel sensor, which is crazy at this price point and this kind of category. And they really maximize and lean into it. Now, what's great to see is that you do have 4K 60 on the rear camera, not for the ultra wide, but for the main and the zoom. For the ultra wide, it does step down to 4K 30, which I still think is great and acceptable. I love that. You do get 4K on the selfie as well, but that is limited to 30 FPS. If you want 60 FPS, drop it down to 720p and 1080p. So I think it's a well-rounded camera experience. And, you know, things like zoom in the main camera, when you've got this much resolution to play with and this much flexibility, it is a pro device. So I'm glad it is at least a 3x and above and not a 2x. So it's great to see here. Overall, I like the camera. I think the camera is okay. It's not my favorite. It's not the outright best, but it's going to do a great job in a lot of situations. So can't go wrong when it comes to the camera experience. Now, software experience on Honor 400 Pro is Magic OS 9 with Android 15. And I'm going to get straight to it. The freakiest thing is the image to video. And yeah, we did the product launch in London, went to the Royal Academy of Arts, and wow, talk about bringing your pictures alive. It's crazy. Now, it's a weird thing because you can't prompt it to do that, right? But it just somehow knows how to make pictures come alive. Yeah, I don't know how I necessarily feel about this, but all I know is this is crazy. Some of the examples I was seeing from other people, as well as even the short time that I've used it, yeah, this image to video stuff is crazy. Now, software isn't mainly my thing. I'm kind of just owning the fact that I'm not really the best person to talk about it because it doesn't really interest me all that much. But when I'm seeing software working like this, that just blows my flipping mind. And yeah, watch out for this and be careful what you believe out there because it might be coming from devices like the Honor 400 Pro and the 400 when it comes to image and video. And I think what Honor are doing here is crazy. Now, disclaimer, apparently this is for a period of time that you can use the service on a phone. Then after a while, you're going to have to be paying for a monthly subscription. So just bear that in mind. But overall, software on this is kind of crazy. So yeah, I kind of like what Honor are doing, but it is scary at the same time. Battery life, like I said, packing a 5,300 milliamp hour battery. And of course, like I said, you do know me to be the home of the most realistic and thorough extreme battery drain test on mobile data, indoors, and also outdoors with our Day in the Life series. Check the ones that we did below that we've started. I'm really enjoying those series. So if you appreciate that, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's try and revive things on the channel, get us 100K subscribers. But yeah, I don't really test every single phone anymore. You know, it's quite intensive, but Honor's one that I trust when it comes to battery life from my previous history testing them, and this is probably not going to be any different. And of course, with support for up to 100-watt wired charging, which doesn't come included in the box, so you have to get it separately. Battery life on this is a non-issue. What's my conclusion to the Honor 400 Pro? I like it, I really do. But this is a weird one where I would say maybe consider the 400. Now, if you want the Pro, get the Pro because you know what you want it for, the performance, the extra screen reader state, and also the extra camera performance. But I'll tell you what, the Honor 400 is elegant. I really gravitate to that. This is the first time I would say that price difference of 300 might not be fully justified. Doesn't mean it's a bad phone, but maybe look at the 400. What's your thoughts on the Honor 400 Pro? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. You enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.